But queen g4 is an idea now. Oh my god. Okay. King h3, there's still a mate there. I think he's trying to flag Anirudh. Oh, what the? What? What the hell? Wow, Hampov, wow.
3 seconds also, Tunisia is not ready to give up yet. Rook c8 and rook into c8. Probably he's trying for stalemate still. Rook into e3, king g5 possible, so I think this will not be enough. Rook g2, and we should not see b5, and we see a stalemate on the board. How unfortunate is that by Outwitted? That is this guy just has got 2 stalemates in this tournament right now. Oh, he has a draw here. Can he do it? Oh, does he have a mate? Well, I think you should take the draw, and this is what you don't want to do. You had extra time, you could have played slowly and casually, and here does he mate him? No. I think this is not a good idea, because I think Anirudh gets a little bit, queen 3 is a mate though. Oh, he gets there finally. Wow, what a mate here.
And queen g4, oh wait, queen g4? Well, is bishop g6 back? Yeah, queen g4, obviously. Bishop g6, then bishop d8. And that is winning, guys.
One more interesting possibility was to play knight f5, and after e5, queen f5, we have a double threat here, queen c8 as well as h7. That would have also been interesting, but
rook d8 for sure, and rook d7. But after king f6, oh my god, rook f8. Oh my god, outwitted. Outwitted. How did he do this in 2 consecutive games? I mean, you were just lost.
f8, and Outwitted somehow is outwitting his opponents here, even in positions which are inferior. He's definitely setting up some nice ideas and traps. 4 d into e4, knight g5. So generally what is the important thing is you take knight into e4 here. That's an important possible thing you should keep in mind. Knight into e4 prevents white from getting this knight g5 annoyance in many different. It's applicable here, it's applicable in Catalan, it's applicable in many different positions where e4 is played. So d into e4 allows knight g5, just an added possibility.
Outwitted should be winning this one, but again, never lose hope. When Hampov is here, he never gives up. So he's again trying for some stalemate, but doesn't look to be happening. What? Oh my god, Hampov is too good at this, too good. I mean, again, he doesn't have time. He has 1 second left, and he finds a stalemate once again. I mean, wow.
Tunisia is utterly destroyed here, but he never gives up on his stalemate. Rook into b2, once again a stalemate there. Wow, what a guy. Rook into b2, and there is no move for the king. So this guy doesn't give up on stalemates. He keeps going, tries to find the most ridiculous stalemates here and save the game.
Oh, did white just blunder? Anirudh just blundered, guys. Anirudh just blundered because Ensimo got bishop into b1 here, because if white does capture, there is bishop into bishop b4, and the queen and king are in one line. So he loses the queen. So Anirudh decided to castle and give up the piece. Wait, do I see some tactics coming on board? Knight e6, queen h4. I think Ensimo said I'll give the e6 pawn and go for h4. And knight c7 though, I mean, this is falling here. Maybe that doesn't need to fall. Maybe there's bishop c5 and a checkmate. Oh my god. A checkmate in the center of the board. And Ensimo had this in his pocket. He was a piece up. But lost this one.
Oh, queen d5, and there we go. Actually, I think a mistake there by Hassan. He was definitely better, but now black can easily force a draw here. Queen f1 though, what a mistake there. What a big mess. Queen f1, big blunder, because that's just the queen this picked up. Queen g1 is maybe what Hassan was intending to play, although haha has berserked. So that's an interesting username you've got there, my friend.
Now rook e8. We probably will see the king being checkmated out in the center. Rook d6 or rook f4. Rook d6 is a checkmate. Yeah, so again we have got another game where the king's checkmated in the center.
It would have been really lovely not to have this rook, because you could try queen h4 check, gh4 stalemate ideas. You should always be on the lookout for this. And after king into h2, we have stalemate. What happened here? Queen b2. What a find there by Tunisia. So this is definitely something that is important. Like, people should not give up immediately. And what a brilliant find here. I was just talking about stalemate ideas. And then does he go for the pawn? He doesn't, because after bishop b7, he thinks rook b8 attacks and wins the b2 pawn. But white had bishop c6 check in between, attacking the king, and the pawn could have been supported, but bishop g6 is forced, and then comes knight into g7. Wow, we have tactics on the board here. Things are flying. King into g7 and h5, and that's a very nice tactic there. But
Wait. Is white getting a draw here? Queen c7? No. Yeah, I mean, king g8 maybe. And rook a8, I think is bishop f8. I think he's doing fine there actually. Maybe he could have gone for that because he's a piece up. Simple threat of bishop into f6. So black has to get rid of that. I think he'll go knight e4, fe4. Oh, Bobby has also berserked this game. So let's see what's going to happen. g5, I think. Oh, bishop g5. He's missed a tactic. Queen.
this position is generally better for black because he has the pair of bishops to play with. Not the ideal situation. And now he has two bishops to play with. So knight d5, yeah, bishop d5, I think maybe black should avoid. Maybe castling is better. Needs to go queen c5, because if you move the king, yeah, queen f2 is a very good move there by Spexy. He finds the way, because now after queen takes e5, king h7, there is no more check, and there is a force mate here on g2. So no more check after king h7, and then we have a force mate. So that's unstoppable.
This pawn was simply queening, but oh, black blundered. Wait, here in this position, black gets too greedy and goes for this. Black has to just secure this and play the move g6 over here. And once the pawns are secured, after that you can go to queen this pawn or capture this pawn. I think he just blundered, and after g6, f into e6, and white is queening first. So
Chessparts Tunisia, though, this guy doesn't give up. So if he manages to somehow pull out a draw somewhere, like, he has some ridiculous resources up his sleeve.
I think he's looking for rook into b2 here. Rook into b2 would be a stalemate. Again, he's going for the idea, but white does not fall for it. This c6 is played. Now, c6 is a permanent weakness on the board. This is a backward pawn, and we know backward pawn in open file is a really... It's always an easy target to the opponent. So, as white's very easy target. Now, white had a very nice idea of getting in like this to c5, I'm guessing. So, that's why Inkala played the move knight d1. What? It's rook e8, right? Well, he has a perpetual check if he wishes. I think Anirudh goes for the kill, but you don't have time. Wow, he found the mate at this point of time. Oh my god. I mean, hats off to Anirudh. I mean, when you're having not even a second, he's actually able to find the checkmate over here. Wow.
2 minutes left. I think they might get another game in here, but we are assured that Chessparts Tunisia has taken this one. He has won this one because there's nobody catching him. The only issue, time. Time is a big issue for small timer.
Bobby was... Wait, Outwitted was there, right? He just won his game. So Outwitted has gone to the second spot, guys, in the last few seconds.
Interesting games here. Bobby was so much behind on time, was so much behind on material, but somehow fighting spirit is all you need. And that's what Bobby showed us here today. He's definitely a fighter, and he manages to flag his opponent Gonda.